Welcome back. Recently I've been thinking a lot about the idea of sacred space and how much of an essential part of spiritual practice that has been in the history of our culture. Because whether it's churches or temples, mosques, or these other sanctuaries, it's always been a place to come to renew ourselves, to purify ourselves, and to return to that place of true understanding. But one thing that I'm realizing is that we don't have that as much anymore in this day and age. We are coming to understand as we evolve spiritually that the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that there is no separation between God and ourselves, and that we don't have a need to go somewhere to link up with that energy. We don't actually need to go somewhere to worship something that is outside of ourselves. Churches and other spiritual places are becoming less and less relevant because we are beginning to realize that that state of spiritual belief is in itself incorrect. And we know through practices like meditation or yoga and other things, or the powerful, impactful experiences that many of us have had, that we and God are really two sides of the same coin. And I've been reading a book by Mercia Eliot, who is a professor of religion, and he wrote many years ago that one distinctive quality of religion and spiritual practice that always turns up is the need for spiritual or sacred time, which is separated from our ordinary or non-religious time of day, where we do things like church or religious rites or festivals and these other things that place us back in that state of spiritual understanding. And he wrote that it is by virtue of the temple that the world is re-sanctified in every part. However impure it may become, the world is continually purified by the sanctity of sanctuaries. But whether or not you have a place like that of your own, such as church or an altar in your home, I think it's important to realize that you can still create that space and that sacrality within yourself and return to it from time to time, just as these other religious groups and these societies from time to time come back to their festivals and their memory of these sacred things that have gone on with their mythology and these gods battling and whatnot, and the memory of that. You can return to your memories of past sacred experiences or the things that you hold on to that are important to you. You can experience sacred space and create sacred space by simply turning within, and that's what meditation and yoga and all these other practices are about. It's recognizing that we as man are a microcosm of the greater whole, and as such we have that still center within us that is perfectly aligned with the center of the universe and the creation that we are experiencing. We can at any time turn and appreciate that center within us, and we can resurrect the most sacred and beautiful and profound experiences that we've had in our life and create a religious ritual around that that is completely interior to us and that we can come back to. Religion and spiritual practice are all about remembrance and reverence for God. And once you realize that God is your true nature, you can begin to experience that more inwardly as well as outwardly in the world. And one of the beautiful things about creating this sacred space within yourself is that that quality of stillness and peaceful appreciation begins to enter more and more into your regular life. And what was before profane time, as Mercia Eliot would call it, becomes increasingly sacred because it has this new, greater quality of just holiness to it. And you can see things before that have always been there but were out of your line of sight. So I hope this was helpful to you and gives you some insight, and I'll see you in the next one.